gain of function going on around the world. In 2015, it was a big scandal when Obama was caught allowing gain of function at the University of Texas, Galveston, and the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. So they then moved it to Wuhan.
The outbreak of a...
Shalom. Yeah, there's the book of Jude, verse 24. Now unto him that is able to keep you from falling and to present you faultless before the presence of his glory with exceeding joy, to the only wise power, our Savior, be glory and majesty, dominion and power, both now and ever, so be it. Giving all praises, all honor, and all glory to the Heavenly Father and his only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachaha Kodash. Double honor to my teachers, the apostles, the elders, and the bishops of Great Millstone, who watch over our souls. Shalom to the Akim worldwide that are sincere and serious doing the will of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachaha Kodash. 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 1 or 2 to you all. Stay strong and stay mighty. I take not the Holy Spirit from us, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. I'm the brother, the disciple, Koshab and Yamir from the branch here in Great Millstone, Barbados. Now, just going through the comment here, this comment board here. This person put Psalms 91, right? Because this video is about the Nipah virus that I want to do here. It's a short little video, Lord willing. And you can see these unbelievers here. Would you start with this crap? My goodness. You know, people like this here, right? Why do you keep pushing this religion nonsense? This person that posted religion yet? They posted a precept in Psalm 91. Though 1,000 may fall at your side and 10,000 at your right hand, it shall not come near us, our dwelling. Probably a different translation, right? It's only when these people, right, and not in a hospital bed, or they realize they can't go XYZ place without permission, you know what I mean? Or they're losing the job and upon the last $100 in savings, right? That they can want some sort of relief. That they can say, oh God, right? But anyhow, this man here, Jason, your channel, fair use big man, I use you content for monetary gain. It's right. I can't about that. Using it for educational purposes via the Holy Scriptures. So he did this video here. It has begun disease X chilling warning. So we play a little bit here. Get a couple of presets and shot.
The deadly virus in India has much of the world on high alert with fears of another pandemic. Travellers are being stopped and screened for Nipah virus at all major Asian airports, including Bali. The global response to the outbreak eerily similar to scenes during COVID.
Another issue on the agenda is a panel dedicated to the so-called disease X, a hypothetical pathogen that may cause new pandemic many times more deadly than COVID. What do you expect to come out of those talks?
Today, the World Economic Forum actually has a whole session on this about disease X. And what people are really worried about, and by the way, none of these sessions have anything on it about improved biolab safety. What people are worried about is creation of all these pathogens in these labs and then having another security breach, and then we're off to getting the world sick again.
Health officials in India have confirmed cases of the deadly Nipah virus, and that's prompted authorities across Southeast Asia to boost security measures, including screenings at some airports. The World Health Organization lists Nipah as a priority disease due to its potential for fast-moving.
Did not kill Gates here. The next pandemic will surely get my attention, something like that, yeah? Right?
Outbreaks.
Well, we know what disease X is. the governments from Russia to China to the U.S. to France, the Japanese, they all know what diseases are here. You have new mutations of diseases, but there's no disease X. There's a new mutation of an already existing disease. So disease X is a holding place or a catch-all for gain of function bioweapons where they genetically splice viruses and also mutate viruses with radiation.
So that means you got these quote unquote scientists in the laboratories, right? Playing around with different diseases, etc., and then releasing it out in the atmosphere when they get the word from out top, right? Remember, Gates said we can reduce the world's population with new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive system. They can lower the population of the world, right? You know the scriptures say, yeah. Lost my train of thought. There we go.
With radiation and other techniques to make them more communicable and more deadly.
Officials in the U.S. tonight are monitoring a deadly virus that is spreading overseas. Airports in the Southeast Asia are now heightening their airport screenings. Raf Sanchez is following this from London for us. And Raf, what more do we know?
So, Tom, airports across the region are stepping up their screening for what's known as the Nipah virus. This is a far more deadly virus than COVID. It has a fatality rate of between 40 and 75%, according to the World Health Organization. Now, it's usually carried by fruit bats, and human-to-human transmission seems to be rare, but there is no vaccine at this point, which is why these two cases in India are being taken so seriously. The Indian Ministry of Health says it's been doing contact tracing, and it believes the virus is contained, and the CDC says it is monitoring the situation and it stands ready to assist if needed.
The Nipah virus infection is very dangerous. Firstly, it has no cure. There's no specific treatment and no medicine works. Secondly, there is no vaccine or inoculation for it. And the third thing is that the mortality rate is very high.
Nipah was first detected in Malaysia in 1998. Since then, small outbreaks, mostly in Bangladesh, have been contained. While the virus can spread between humans, scientists warn airport screenings may be ineffective as the incubation period can be long.
It's about 1 to 2 weeks, maybe a little bit sooner in some, and sometimes a lot longer than that. I think the longest has been 45 days. And what this
Habakkuk 2 and 5. Yeah, also because he transgressive by wine. No, the wine is his philosophies, huh? When you drink too much wine, you get intoxicated. So this is how the world is intoxicated. The world is intoxicated by his philosophies, huh? He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. Right, so he going through all over the earth and taking things that don't belong to him. Who enlargeth his desire as hell. Who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as deaf, and cannot be satisfied. But gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. So these people are nothing but deaf, brother. You understand? The brother from Boston was using a toothpaste, and he tested the toothpaste. The toothpaste had in lead and arsenic, and he was using that toothpaste for years, brother. You understand? So this place definitely Psalms 23, right? Meaning the valley of the shadow of death, brother. Anyhow,
is that it's actually very difficult to control at airports.
Experts say the Nipah virus has not yet shown signs of becoming more transmissible among humans or spreading easily worldwide, but it remains a significant public health concern.
And so we have the UN that wants a worldwide treaty to take control of nation states and borders and transportation and trade with their UN pandemic treaty, really trying to establish a corporate world government, the name of it, hyping up disease X and saying it's going to kill 50 million people and it's imminent. Well, how can they be developing a vaccine for a disease that doesn't exist yet? And we know in China, in the United States, in Ukraine, all over the world, Western governments have been caught producing weaponized biological weapons in these labs, not for defensive purposes, but for offensive purposes.
Because they're getting ready to slaughter you people over here. You understand? Because the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. This is Revelation, the 6th chapter, and you know what, let me start at 4. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. Are we in a peaceful time right now, big man? Answer yourself honestly. Don't think because you got to pay a check that is peace, big man. Look at the earth in the whole. Right? It says, and that they should kill one another. I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian. These people can fight against one another. Civil war. ICE. It says, and there was given unto him a great sword, right? The technology he has. Remember what happened in Venezuela? The Venezuela soldiers, the survivors, they said that they faced weapons that they never saw before. Right? Super soldiers, also a big man. Alright. So jumping down here a little more. Revelation, the 6th chapter, and 7. And when he had opened the 4th seal, they heard the voice of the 4th beast say, come and see. And they looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him, showing that in a place on the earth called hell. Hell means destruction. It's this horse that is let loose. He saw Edom, right? Horse is symbolic for power, right? And he's pale skin, right? He's bringing death. He's bringing hell with him, big man. You understand? And hell followed with him. Look, New Living Translation. I looked up and saw a horse whose color was pale green. Its rider was named Death, and his companion was the grave. How many people died from 3/22/19? A lot of people, big man. I still having complications from 3/22/19, brother. Right? It says these two were given authority over 1/4 of the earth to kill with the sword and famine and disease. See? And wild animals. Right?
Scientists have reported it would take 1 billion years in perfect conditions for the COVID-19 to occur naturally. 5 different viruses from around the world spliced together. It's basically impossible. And so what we have is illegal gain of function going on around the world. In 2015, it was a big scandal when Obama was caught allowing gain of function at the University of Texas, Galveston, and the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. So they then moved it to Wuhan. So when they released it, they could then have plausible deniability about who'd made it.
You know, vaccine developers have been talking about disease X for years. Peter Daszak at the EcoHealth Alliance, who had a hand actually in the Wuhan Institute of Virology and with the NIH and Ralph Barrick, in the whole origins of SARS-CoV-2. He wrote a piece, I believe, in the New York Times in 2018 on disease X. Disease X is not a real disease. It's a concept of, can scientists use gain-of-function research and make a serious disease in the lab and then make a vaccine to it.
Whoa.
So it's a strategy. And what Daszak says is we want to get ahead of nature, try to anticipate what nature is going to potentially evolve, and then create this new pathogen in the lab and have the vaccine ready to go.
And the disease X that has hit the headlines lately is as I understand it, if I remember correctly, a modified coronavirus that affects brains and was shown to kill mice quickly. Is that what I'm hearing? This particular disease X of hand lately.
Well, yeah, it was a modification of a coronavirus. And again, back to Peter Daszak, the EcoHealth Alliance employs dozens and dozens of scientists. They're funded by the U.S. government. He's just been...
So, you see what they're doing? This man here, Miss Singh. I am from India. Nipah is seasonal and has occurred in India and other countries with a very minuscule effect. In fact, in India, there is no talk about it, as it has already been declared contained with hardly any infections. But this person here put, it's real Bill Gates is over at India. I recall Bill Gates saying in an interview that they didn't get us with C2219, but they would get us with X. See? So, hey, these people, like I read to you just now, right? They shall kill one another. So, and they're gonna be uprisings of they're gonna be uproars of the people. They're gonna be protests, more protests, increase, which can bring in the military, which can bring in martial law. They just would have want. You see the spreading the fear, right? See, here we go again. I hope and pray people that will wait this time after the last farmer companies already rubbing their hands together. So yeah, people ain't foolish, you know what I mean? But still, there is a pathogen out there, because right here the hospital is overwhelmed. People getting there's a deadly flu, people getting sick, and the experiencing the body overheating, but still like the palms and the feet cool, and the bones hurting. Is right. I ain't gonna go much more into that. I just relaying a message that I get.
Funded again. He's not taking the research projects to Wuhan, but he's going to Duke University in Singapore to work on bat coronaviruses, to actually do more coronavirus research. And we know that gain-of-function research is done outside the United States. It's not banned in the United States. It's just the federal funding for U.S. institutions is banned. So there's foundation work and independently funded gain-of-function in the United States, and then it's a gain-of-function bonanza.
This won't start until the mass population turns on the elite, start supporting elites no matter. Well, I just quoted our precept. Right? This is 2nd Ezra. Are you telling you, big man? This is the book of 2nd Ezra. Is it 14 or 15? 2nd Ezra, which is part of the Apocrypha for you dimwits out there. 2nd Ezra 15:14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings, nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. Verse 17. A man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able, Why? Because they're going to be calling law. It's going to be martial law. Remember, ICE is being funded billions of dollars, big man. You understand? And they're also acquiring real houses and turning them into detention centers. Right? For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. Troubled how? Because people can be out in the numbers. You understand? Businesses and get raided. You know what I mean? All out violence, brother. Is right? All out chaos, big man. Hospitals can be overwhelmed. Sicknesses can be all over the place. And don't forget, along when they still got the job and serving the run. You see? When they still got the seat, when they still got the 22, the 322, 19 and winner. The job. You see? It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. Right, big man? Right? Home invasions, big man. See? They coming into your homes, big man. Ransacking it. Hauling you off, big man. Verse 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. You see? Your next door neighbor, hi Marty, how you doing? Oh, bang, be nice so no more, big man. Like this fucking bitch. Huh? Bore your house, big man. Is right? You single women. A lot wanna do a lot of martial arts now. You know, taking boxing classes. I got my pepper spray. Yeah. Woo! All right.
Outside the United States. And I think, if anything, our world leaders ought to look at gain of function research and really ask a question: is this wise to do? We've already gotten the world sick once with this. Is this going to be a repeated problem?
Passengers arriving in the Indonesian island of Bali are in for a surprise. Thermal screenings are back at airports in some Asian countries for the first time since the COVID-19 pandemic. This time to check for the Nipah virus, which is carried by fruit bats and other animals. Cases have been confirmed in eastern India.
Of course, we're all afraid of all the viruses, especially after Corona. Everything has gotten changed and we lost so much people. So we think we should be very careful about these kind of diseases.
India has reported 2 Nipah cases in late December in the eastern state of West Bengal.
This is a highly contagious virus between humans, and it's often deadly.
Well, the only way to prevent future pandemics is to take away the people who made virus act accordingly. Right, so it means that you gotta take away the elites. You gotta destroy the system, and our Lord is coming to destroy the system, brother. Right? He's coming to tear down this current kingdom. You understand? And set up righteousness, right, on the earth. That's the only way. It's right?
The 2 cases of Nipah virus were detected in India in the state of West Bengal, but there are concerns the outbreak could spread. The virus has a fatality rate of 40 to 75%, according to the World Health Organization, deadlier than the COVID virus, and there's no vaccine for Nipah. So authorities in India are taking no chances. At the same time, several airports across Asia, in Thailand, Singapore, Malaysia, and Hong Kong, are taking steps to screen passengers for any symptoms. Nipah is a zoonotic virus that's transmitted from animals, usually fruit bats, and doesn't spread easily to humans. It can also come from contaminated food. And when it does hit, it initially feels like the flu, then worsens. Experts say pneumonia and other respiratory symptoms can develop. But the most serious complication is encephalitis, or inflammation of the brain. The WHO says the fatality rate has a lot to do with the country's capacity to test, trace, and treat those infections.
Nipah in Jewish gematria means death? Wait a minute, boy.
In India, authorities have quarantined nearly 200 people who may have come into contact with the two infected. It's the first time in nearly 20 years that India has had cases, but they believe the outbreak is now contained. Still, it's a situation that U.S. health officials are watching very closely.
However, despite being relatively rare, there are concerns given how aggressive the virus can be.
It can cause multi-system organ failure, but it has a predilection for causing an encephalitis, which means an inflammation of the brain.
Initial signs and symptoms vary, but can include fever, headaches, muscle pain, vomiting, and a sore throat. This can be followed by dizziness, drowsiness, and altered consciousness.
The death rate varies from outbreak to outbreak, but is of the order of about 45 to 75% mortality rate. Against that, a proportion of cases, up to about half of cases, might have no symptoms whatsoever.
The virus predominantly spreads through fruit bats, often in rural areas.
It's what's called a zoonotic disease. Most humans catch it from the fruit bats or from animals.
Human-to-human transmission is possible, but less common.
Almost all the human-to-human transmission has occurred in household contacts who are caring for somebody at home who is very ill. So this is not the sort of thing that is transmitted through the air where you can get it from just having been across an airport from somebody.
Doctors say the risk in Canada remains very low.
Is it theoretically possible that someone could land on our doorstep with this infection? Absolutely it is. It's just a very, very, very low risk.
All right. I'm looking for the word Nipah there, see what it means. Got this person here put Nipah in Jewish gematria means death. So they're trying to see if we can find it. But you can't find it. But I showed you that these people are as deaf and they can't be satisfied. It's right? They are not satisfied, big man. They don't sleep. That's a preset, right? They sleep not, except they do wickedness. They can end with all them, man. They sleep not. I'm doing yet what? They sleep not, except they do wickedness. Sleep not. Yeah, Proverbs 4, verse 16, for they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall. And this is the whole point. They want an NWO, big man. It's right. So they ain't stopping at nothing till they have their agenda. Till they meet their agenda. But what they don't understand is that the Lord Power Force, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, is going to step in. Because he will get a lot. You minuscule people out there, you will be caught up in these things here. Right? Some of the elect as well, but the difference is the elect will be delivered. Right? The elect will be delivered. Right? I was trying to, I don't wanted to find that word, but alright. I can't find that word. Anyhow, man, again, shut there, man. Stay strong, stay mighty, and pray. Make sure you're facing the east and praying to be delivered from the things coming on the earth. You understand? Everything.